So when did you decide that you wanted to be an engineer?
So basically I am from a very
For SD1 role, is system design, low level design, high level design, are they important?
for SD1 role, high level design is not required. So now you need to understand every company has a different hiring process.
So can you tell me what kind of questions will be asked for SD1?
So I'll break up the interview process actually.
You have hired an assistant first.
Yeah. How do you choose among those people? Interview is not to reject you, but it's to select you and give you enough chances.
How much time a recruiter will spend on a recruiter? That's it. Academics and projects. What is the weightage given to both of them?
If you are just starting,
Who are doing well in interviews, like IITians or non-IITians?
whoever is prepared more.
Hi everyone. Today I have with me Bharat. Bharat is working in Microsoft, and most of you must be knowing him already on LinkedIn or on TopMate because he is very active on LinkedIn in TopMate. But then we will ask him to introduce himself. We will ask him to tell his entire journey right from beginning, where he started, where he is now, what he is doing, how he is helping a lot of students. So let us hear from him.
Yeah.
Hi Bharat, can you introduce yourself?
Hello sir, thank you for inviting me. Hi guys, I am Bharat Ahuja, Principal Software Engineer at Microsoft. Like sir said, I write on LinkedIn, also teach students on TopMate. I started my journey in 2030 when I was intern at Microsoft. From Microsoft internship, I actually also got the PPO in Microsoft. So 2014, I started working as a software developer on Microsoft. For 2 years, I worked in Microsoft Hyderabad. Then I fortunately got a position in Microsoft Redmond, so I moved to Seattle. 3 years I worked there.
So you were in US also, is it?
Yeah, 2016 to 2019.
Why did you come back?
Yeah, that's a.
Generally, people don't come back, right?
So I'll tell you. I mean, the thing is, I take very rush decisions. So one day, my friends, we were just discussing and
yeah, your tattoo says that.
yeah, तो किसी ने बोला कि they said that कि मिट्टी की याद आ रही है. So I'm like, okay, मिट्टी की याद आ रही है, let's go. So this is the way I basically decided.
But then the package will be very high in US compared to India, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can give you example that I was able to buy a flat in Hyderabad in 2 years. So people take around 20-15 years here to just get
Just
that.
get it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Just out of context, will you suggest students to go to US or will you suggest them to work in India?
I will definitely tell people to go at least once, and there are two reasons apart from money. The second reason is the mindset. Here, what we see is like कि मेरा बेटा engineer बनेगा sort of mindset, right? कि ये खानदान की गरीबी मिटाएगा. Their engineering is just like another job. So mostly you'll see passionate people out there. So when I was here in Hyderabad in 2016, I can
So
say
you mean to say that Indians who are working in India doesn't have passion?
No, I'm not saying that, but there's also reality that we take it as a like high paying job, right? So definitely there's also a big factor here.
Acha, you mean to say that in US people become software engineers out of passion?
Yes.
But in India, out of compulsion.
Compulsion and passion might be one factor, but there's a definitely compulsion or higher salary bracket, right? Parents decide it for you, right? That mera beta engineer banega.
Okay.
Right.
So when did you decide that you wanted to be an engineer?
So basically I am from a very poor background. You can say my father had a very small shop. I'm from a place जहाँ पे 3 महीने light नहीं आती थी. So I never decided it in the sense. Goal was that I'll clear my 10th and then after that I'll sit with my father in his shop. But then something happened is like I was in my nani's place and there my mama's son, he was very excellent in coding and so he had went to give this IIT JEE and IEEE. So uska hua nahi. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try this. So this is how basically things turned. Otherwise, I had no plan or intentions even to forget. I was like, okay, I'll do 12th.
So do you think that you are a rebel kind of person?
I won't say rebel, but I'm like, okay.
I mean, don't fit in the system, kind.
I would say it gives me a kick that to sort of. Okay, I'm gonna do this, do that. In the sense, I want to basically a limelight everywhere. It's more basically. So I was like, okay, इससे नहीं हुआ तो I'll prove my worth.
Wait, so that is called rebel mindset.
Yeah, you can call it a rebel, but I sort of call it. It gives me a kick,
kind of holy kind of.
Yeah, I can give you one more example. When I joined Microsoft in 2014, I was sitting with my friend. He was 1 year senior to me. He tells me कि भरत ये देखो ये बंदे हैं इनका 9 साल में प्रिंसिपल इंजीनियर बने हैं, ही इज सच ऑसम, नोबडी हैज डन इट, एंड आई एम लाइक इन माय माइंड ठीक है मैं 8.5 में करके दिखाऊंगा.
Generally, how long does it take to become principal engineer?
It takes around 12 to 15 years.
12 to 15 years.
Yeah. And luckily वो 8.5 साल में हो गया.
8.5 साल में you became a principal engineer.
Yes.
So you must be terrific with programming, right?
Yes.
How much do you rate yourself in programming?
I am a very good programmer. I would rate it by 9.5 or 10. My code doesn't break, so I feel that okay, I take a lot of pride in my code.
Can you do a favor to my students? Will you take a programming course for our students? Let us say Java. Will you be able to take that course for our students?
Yeah, I think Java is a very good language. You will see plenty of opportunities Java. All the systems run on Java, and Java has a very high demand. So if you give me chance, I'll be happy to sort of help students.
So your mother tongue is Hindi, right?
Yes.
So will you be able to teach in Hindi?
Yes, definitely. I would love to teach in Hindi rather than English. It becomes easy to sort of connect your emotions and understand.
That's great. So what else do you do at Microsoft? One is you are a principal engineer. So principal engineers, they do coding also, or they are. It is a kind of individual contributor kind of a role, or is it like managerial position?
So you have options. You have two options. Either you can go deep, or you can cover breadth. When you cover breadth, basically you want to have a little bit on the managerial side, understanding different teams, cross collaboration. That's one opportunity. Second is you go very deep, like you own an area and you're basically saying I am the pro of this. So basically my whole journey has been, rather than picking up the breadths, it's always about the depth part. So I have worked as a C++ engineer and as a graphics engineer, so OpenGL kind of rent.
Oh, you worked in OpenGL?
Yes,
I worked on it. It is very, very hectic. It is very detailed language. Like you had to know a hell a lot of things. When I was at I did my master's from ISC. So we had a course called computer graphics. And in the computer graphics, we are supposed to design a small movie kind of thing using OpenGL. Oh my God, I have struggled a lot. It was like very difficult. So you worked as, where did you work on OpenGL?
So now it's been 10 years. I work as a Microsoft Office. So whatever you see on the screen.
Right? Which company did you work?
Microsoft.
Oh, in Microsoft you worked on OpenGL?
Yeah, OpenGL. So whatever, so like say example would be PowerPoint. You create PowerPoint. Okay. Whatever fancy thing you see on the screen.
Do you still remember OpenGL?
Mostly yes. Now from
so if you brush it up, will you be able to make a course on OpenGL? I bet there is no course on OpenGL in internet.
Yeah, it's tough.
No exhaustive course.
It's tough. People don't use it, so there are very less resources. Yeah, but quite powerful thing.
Very powerful. If someone is really into graphics, they will love it.
Yeah, they love it. And the best part is, because very few people are there in such domain, you get a lot of money and the supply is very less. And demand is there.
A lot of demand is there. I think it will be better if we have a course on computer graphics with OpenGL. It might not have a lot of audience, but still that will give us a satisfaction that hey, we did it. Like no one has done it.
And definitely if someone learns that, I mean, they'll be also very happy that okay.
Very good job. Supply is very less.
Yeah, very less supply.
In BTech colleges, we don't have OpenGL. Even though if there is OpenGL, the very basics, very fundamentals will be taught. How to reverse a line, how to flip this, how to flip that, that's it. But then if you have to create a movie by using a movie kind of, an animation movie kind of it, then that will be amazing, right? So there is a lot of things that we could take out of you, right?
So basically this graphics thing is also very funny. This was our first college course and I barely passed it. I mean, it was super tough, like you said. And then when I came to Microsoft, they put me in graphics. And I was like, man, why did you?
Were there resources at your time? I mean, I'm talking about 2013. So were there resources for OpenGL at that time?
Yeah, definitely. I still have the book OpenGL Bible. Time to time,
apart from the book, were there any resources available online like YouTube videos or
not that much.
Not that much.
Right? We used to rely on OpenGL Bible as well as some documentation, and definitely my senior and mentors who were very pro in this.
Apart from that, what are you doing? You are a principal engineer, so you are not into leadership, right? You are into individual contributor kind.
Yes, individual contributor mainly, but from last 1 month I started looking into the leadership part, so trying to explore that skill.
So you will be getting into managerial positions very soon.
I have already been done. It's been a month.
Oh, you are a manager now?
Yeah, a month.
Just in 8.5 years.
8.5 years, I went to principal engineers. Then I did 1.5 year in principal engineer. Now I'm basically trying to principal engineer manager.
Okay, principal engineer manager. So no one has done that.
Yeah, I mean, not there are one more friend of mine who is, I think, is pretty much more smarter than me. So we started at the same time, 2014, same time, same batch, very close friends, and we had a very similar career trajectory. Every time I got promo, he also got promo. So like we used to be sort of have a competition that okay, I got it, and then like mujhe bhi mil gaya. So yeah, definitely two people, not just me.
You mentor people on TopMate and you charge 3,000 rupees per hour for your advice. Now, I want you to give that advice for free to all my YouTube audience about how to get into FANG interviews. What is one most important thing or the most important advice that you give to your paid students?
So biggest hurdle is first to get resume selected. So biggest advice I will tell you people, like you will see over the web that do cold email this and that, it hardly helps because especially
And LinkedIn, many people say that. I mean, I have seen many people in LinkedIn itself. They say that if you want referral, please contact people on LinkedIn. Message them on LinkedIn, that are HR people, and they will revert you back. So, does it happen?
So think about this one. I was basically I had one opening in my team, so I put a post over LinkedIn, and I had
How many responses you got?
I got more than 1,000 responses just to me, and forget about the recruiter. He might have also got. So now think about this. I have
You got 1,000.
yeah, more than 1,000
More than 1,000
applications for just one role where we had to fill 2-3 people.
2-3 roles. You got
2-3 people just in a one position, like say SD2 opening, we need to fill 2-3 people.
Okay.
And I got around more than 1,000. Now
You have hired an assistant first.
yeah, how do you choose among those people? I mean, that's the very difficult part actually, and lot of people struggle. So most of the people come to me to ask me about like how do I get past this stage. This is the most toughest stage, is because I think the problem with is we are basically targeting wrong audience. Like say someone asking me for referral, and then there are 1,000 more people, right, asking the same referral thing. But nobody comes to me and say that Bharat, I'm ready, take a mock interview, and then later we can decide whether you want to refer me or not. I think that approach is much, and there are some people who have already done that. So they didn't ask me for referral, they just went to the top mate, took that, and they did good an interview, then later said that you've already seen I'm doing good.
So if someone books a top mate interview, if there is a position vacant, you will refer them, right?
Yeah, not just refer them. I'll also, if they
Guide
really
them.
do, I'm gonna send a mail to hiring manager that okay.
Wow.
So because it's also my role as well to sort of hire right talent for Microsoft. And if I'm very confident about your skills, it won't harm me, right? So if I tell that other person that okay, I have taken his mock interview and he seems to be doing good in this area, this guy will have a better perspective, right? That Bharat has already taken a look and he feels that he's right. So it becomes very easy for them to trust me and forward that application.
Right, so students, let me tell you, if you are now looking for a job, better take a top mate appointment with Bharat. One thing is, he will explain you how in detail about how to prepare for interviews. And second thing is, he will refer you either in Microsoft or he has a lot of network, which means he has a lot of friends who are in industry. Through them, he will definitely refer you in many companies. So it is definitely worth. It is just 3,000 rupees per 1 hour. But let me tell you, that will be the money best spent. That 3,000 will be the best spent money for you. And trust me, if you talk to Bharat for 5 minutes, you will become friends. And he has that influence also. So he could influence you to achieve more. He is an influencer kind of person. Take my word for granted. Link is in the description. Go for the top mate appointment and immediately talk to Bharat. Even if you are preparing for GATE, just talk to him so that that will be helpful for you. He can tell you what to do in the next 2 years while you are doing MTech so that you will get a job in companies, FANG companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon. Acha, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, we can go into detail about that.
Detail. Yeah.
So once your resume, you get referral and you get a call, things becomes very easy if you are prepared. So now you need to understand every company has a different hiring process. Some might ask you a low-level design, some might ask you a high-level design.
For SD1 role, is system design, low-level design, high-level design, are they important?
Yeah. So for SD1 role, high-level design is not required at all. If someone tells you, they are just fooling you.
They just want to sell the course.
Yeah, sell the course, right? So normally for the people who are just starting or have 1 year's experience, we look for someone can he code, because that's basically your currency. Someone who cannot code, doesn't make sense, right? So first
so in the course that you are going to make in Java, for example, you are doing a course, you are going to do a course in Hindi. So will you cover everything from basics till the point where they could get hired in Microsoft?
Yeah, so there are two parts. One part is basically get comfortable with coding. Then second part is once you know that, okay, if I tell you an idea, kya raat mein bhi you're able to code it. If I tell you just the steps that, okay, what is stack? Stack is basically means last put first up. So now what is, if I explain you the idea, are you able to convert that to a code?
Okay.
So that is the step one. Forget about any idea of how this idea comes and all. We get to that stage.
Okay.
Once you get to that stage, converting and going to the data structures algorithm becomes very easy. So I normally like tell people to spend a lot of time on this part, the basic foundation, and later we can cover the important aspect which is required. So yeah, this is what I'm saying is this would be a very much fundamental phase. So we can call it a module 1 or
so we can have step modules, different ones. So you are saying that we have to cover the basics of Java first and probably algorithms in the next step.
Yeah.
And then connect both of them.
Yeah, like in basics itself, there's some concepts will come like recursions, binary search, a topic, little bit containers, how do you use that data, but not mainly the algorithms part. And then we'll connect from this to this. How do you easily see it? Well, basically, for me, I categorize things in a two way. One is container, right use of the container. The second thing is use of recursion. If you can use this one, you can convert all the algorithms, right? DFS is basically your recursion. C, binary search is your recursion. People call it backtracking, but that's also recursion. If you say DP, that is also recursion.
Okay.
Right. So later part we touch those important concepts, but we don't really name them. That okay, this is DP.
Okay.
Nowadays, if you'll see, there are like DP stuff. Do this. This binary search do this. So we don't basically. I tried not to label them, because once you label, you become your thought process is very constrained towards one direction. I don't even teach them binary search. I'll just teach them recursion and then tell them to okay, now think about this one. And then we don't even teach them sorting, but we want, once the recursion is perfected, I can connect them and make them understand how.
From recursion, you will connect them to algorithms like DFS.
Yeah.
From there, you connect them to trees.
Yeah.
From there, you connect them to DP. From there, you connect them to backtracking. So basically, you say that you have a different framework to learn the algorithms. Guys, no one has explained me this in so simple words so far. I can assure you, I have met many people who are software techies or even professors and doctors, but then this way of looking at algorithms, this DSA course is really unique, and I feel that he should be on YouTube doing all this. And second thing is, don't think that I'm promoting him. 3,000 rupees is not a big deal for you or for him. For him, money is not a matter at all. He's just doing it for fun. But I would suggest that if you are a serious aspirant who is planning to get into FANG companies, definitely take a one-on-one session with him. It will be life-changing. Second thing is, you will be in touch with him throughout your life. Having a mentor like Bharat is difficult to get. Trust me, having a mentor like him who has passion to help students is very, very difficult. And all that you have to pay is 3,000 rupees for 1 hour of his time, which is, I can tell you, if you go for a party and spend 3,000 rupees, rather than that, this will change your life. And don't worry, I'm not going to leave him here. I'll definitely get him onto the YouTube channel and you are going to see a lot of content from him. Yeah, so what is one advice that you give to students who want to get into FANG companies?
Okay, so first thing is start today. So I see normally people save.
That is great advice. Start today.
People save resources, but don't read them. Like you'll see people going to the LinkedIn saying, "Amazing, can you send me the resource list?" And then save kar liya, but it's not used, right? So follow.
And people are drowning with information these days. Everyone has a resource.
Yeah. So
whether he achieved something or not is secondary. He will have Instagram a reel, and in that there will be a lot of resources. And LinkedIn, there will be a lot of notes. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is giving GAN now.
Yeah.
Now the GAN has become so much. So people like you get buried in this information, because people just generally what happens is when someone takes a top mate appointment with some techie who doesn't have any basic knowledge, but somehow he became a techie, then that particular interaction will spoil the experience so much that they will never take any appointment again with anyone. This is happening because there are hell a lot of people on top mate who are just doing it for money. I have seen it. They will be looking at their clock. I know personally many people who do that. They will get onto the top mate, and when the appointment begins, they will just look at the time, and exactly they will see when the half an hour is going to over and how to keep them engaged, or how to give them gyan for 30 minutes. So this is happening, right? So people like you should definitely be on YouTube as well as on LinkedIn and other platforms also, but you should be more visible.
Yes, sir. But I have a question for you. Does it make you sad that you see a lot of people misspreading and giving a lot of gyan?
I am seeing that many people see there are two kinds of people. Some people copy your content. That is fine, because if your content is best, that will get copied. That is a kind of appreciation for your course. But then some people use their brands just to make money. See, I have seen hell a lot of people who use ChatGPT to write a post and time it on YouTube for 1 week, and then automatically that will get part. I have seen many where they are becoming big big influencers, and they don't know what they are talking about. If you ask them, let us say someone, I don't want to take any names. Let us say someone is in some company, right? Now they write posts, motivational posts, inspirational posts, technical posts. If you actually interview them, they will say blah blah blah. I've seen those people. So yeah, this is really, see, it is like gold mining these days. Even if you go to YouTube or LinkedIn or any platform, it is very difficult to get quality content. By the time you understand that something is bullshit, your 1 hour of time is over. You are spending that time. Now people have to do gold mining. It is like creating or reaching to the valuable content itself is like mining. Now you have to dig, and somewhere you'll find the gold, and you'll come across a lot of mud. For example, if you take any DSA course, I have seen many people, many courses which are bullshit, because this is my bread and butter. So I'm into this content creation. So I have seen many content creators who are, and let me tell you, if you look at any Java course on the internet, there will be only basics. That will, anyway, that. Why are you again reading it? And they will not come to the points like multi-threading, OOPS concepts, solid principles. They will not teach those concepts because they don't know them. And people join Microsoft or Google just for 3 months, 6 months, then leave the job, and then they will make a video saying, I left Microsoft. And what did they learn? Nothing. And then they will become a creator, and then they will start DSA course, and then all this is happening, right? I don't want to name them. There are hell a lot of them. 3 months, some person has worked in Microsoft for 3 months, and now is very big YouTuber just because of the Microsoft brand, ex-Microsoft.
So that, like I said, it sometimes pains me, and then there's a joke I tell everyone. जितने DSA के आपकी resources हैं, everyone should have known DSA by now, right? Because you see everyone telling, oh, do this pattern, do that pattern, this pattern. So like so much information is there, right?
One more thing I understood is, when you are putting up a free course, which is for free, you are thinking that students are not paying you, so you don't have to, you don't have the responsibility to give the best. But students are actually paying you. They are paying you their time
as well. Yeah.
That is what you should respect. Even if it is a free course, it has to be the best. Otherwise, don't do it. It is just a waste of time.
Yeah, I learned that very hard way. So I was running this C++ course. I started teaching C++ people. So I put up 50 rupees. Anybody can come. There were like 6-10 classes. And I told them I'll also record it. One day I forgot to record class. And then someone says, how can you do that? I'm like, okay, take your 50 rupees. But then later I realized that it's not like that. They're giving me time, and then there's a trust involved as well.
Trust.
Right?
That is the trust. That is the utmost important thing. They are trusting you. You should never cheat them. by doing stupid courses.
Yeah.
That is one hard thing. So if you look at my YouTube channel, I don't do hell a lot of things. I don't do hell a lot of videos just because I have the YouTube channel. I think if you look at my channel, for the past 5 years, I might have uploaded just 100 videos because you will be wasting time. That is my primary concern. See, whenever I try to make a video, I just think whether will it help them or is it just to create for the namesake of creating a video, right? So that is what my now that you are planning to become a YouTuber, my sincere, honest advice is you will do the course only once. You don't have to do it 100 times. But when you are doing it, give your best because that is where your students will have a bond with you. They will thank you. I mean that is good blessings, when you do a good course.
Yeah, definitely. It's a game of trust. I learned it hard way when this guy told me you cannot do it. But later I realized that when it's not about 50 rupees, it's about the trust and everything. So from that time onwards, I am very sort of like, okay, if I'm posting something, if I'm teaching someone, I'll make sure that I'm giving my 100%. Otherwise, don't waste their time.
So Bharat, tell me about what are the questions, not questions, but what kind of topics will be asked. I think you are not supposed to mention the questions that will be asked in the interview, right?
I mean, I'm not supposed to mention my questions, but
in general,
all information is already available over the web, right? You will see last 6 months Microsoft questions, so Microsoft doesn't have that policy.
So you can mention.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell me what kind of questions will be asked for SDE1?
Yeah.
First do SDE1, then SDE2.
Okay. So I'll break up the interview process actually. So interview process will normally be, there would be 2 or 3 rounds. First round will majorly be focusing on your coding part and problem solving. If you do bad in that, you won't really get a chance. But normally Microsoft will.
Can you give me an example of a problem?
Okay, simple example would be, let's say I asked you to write some problem based on binary search.
Okay.
Now there would be 2 possibilities. Either you don't know even how to code binary search, or you do but you made mistakes, some little bit edge cases or something, right? So this would be first part. If I see that you cannot even code binary search, simple binary search, you will straight away be rejected. If you can code easily well, then the interviewer will try to ask you certain fundamentals questions. I might ask you time complexity. I might ask you a little bit about recursion. How does recursion work? A little bit of the details, but these details are very important. I want to understand that you just haven't mugged up the solution. Okay. So it's not about the right solution, but it's more about like how do you get to this? Yeah, how do you approach? So how are you approaching that?
So while solving the question, is it a good approach to talk to the interviewer and keep telling him your approach, how you are doing the problem, or you just do it and submit it at the end? Okay, so I'll tell you a very important thing. Let's say a question was given to you and you had no idea about it. And if you don't tell the interviewer straight away, but let's say you are not able to find the right solution, but you are able to find what are the wrong solutions, right? Okay. And able to communicate that as well, it gives you a plus points as well. So more than right solutions, you want to understand how much and how do you think. Okay. So it's very important. Now you don't want to tell it after every 30 seconds, but make sure that whatever important things you know, that you should definitely be telling. It helps when I know how you are thinking. More than the right answer, it's more about the process. Are you smart enough to understand why certain solutions won't work? So we as an interviewer want to understand whether you know that maturity, that why you are discarding this solution and picking this one. So it's your responsibility to convey that to me. Don't directly jump to this part, right? So it's basically you're building from bottom to top, right? So this is main important thing. So definitely if you are just going in a silent mode, that won't help. So you need to make sure that you're basically advertising your own skills. Okay. So very important. Okay, let us say if there are 3-4 approaches to solve a problem, and the 4th approach is optimal approach, best approach. That is it. That nothing beats that answer. Should a student start with first approach, second approach, third approach, and then go to the 4th approach, or should he directly jump to the 4th approach? And which one impresses the interviewer? Like you are the interviewer. Which one impresses you? So first you should be asking me the constraints. Very important, right? Whenever a question is given, you should, for example, if it is like sorting the numbers, you should ask the range of the numbers. Yeah, what is positive numbers, negative numbers, or anything. Yeah. So constraints are first. Constraints are important because see,
insertion sort for smaller n works much better than say order of n square or n log algorithms like merge sort, right? So most important thing is someone is not asking me constraint and directly jumping to the optimal solution. How do you know that this would
you would have definitely seen this question in LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So if you discover that a student has already seen the question in the LinkedIn and he is very fast in completing it, otherwise it would be very difficult to do that. Will you ask the second question or will you end the interview with good marks there?
It depends upon, like, rather than right for me and everyone, like most for especially for the senior people, we want to understand whole approach. So we want to ask you 10 different questions in that question itself. We might ask you some CS fundamental thing. So not the right. So if we are sure that okay you are bad, if we are in a gray area, we'll continue. But if we want to get to a right, whether it's a no or yes, but we want to get to that stage. So normally we will stretch. If this is just about 10-15 minutes, I will.
Achha, if it is for 10-15 minutes, will you keep asking the questions for 10-15 minutes, or will it be one question is done and you are okay, interview is over? How do you do the interview?
Yeah, so we normally are want to finish in 45 minutes.
Okay.
There's a 1 hour time limit, but we can stretch for 15 more minutes. So if I cannot go beyond that because someone else will have some another slot because round 1, round 2, round 3.
Okay.
So no, we cannot go beyond 60 minutes. But sometimes
so you will fill the entire 60 minutes with questions?
Not. If someone can complete 2 questions in 30 minutes, normally we'll just stop there. Or I'll ask him more questions. I might ask, but those won't be really coding questions, but those will be more like CS fundamental questions. I might ask him about operating system. I might ask him about multi-threading and all, because those are much more important aspect.
So that is about first round.
Yeah.
What happens in the second round?
First round feedback is propagated to the second round. In the sense is like if I'm very much comfortable.
So do you have a sheet where you give them marks?
Yeah, we have a very detailed form where you need to fill positive things, what went wrong, what was good points, what was bad. So we rate it.
And then automatically score will come out.
Not score will come out. Ultimately, we need to give a
your score. Huh?
Yeah.
Out of how much?
No, so everything is rated out of 5, 1 to 5. So there's one section for coding, then another section for design, another section is for CS fundamentals, another section is for your behavioral, how confident you are.
So out of 5, what is the pass mark?
3.
First round they should get 3.
Yeah.
Then only they are going to get the second round.
No, if you get 2.52 also, then only you'll go to the second round. But it will be like, okay, you are no, you need one more yes. So it's more about yes or no thing. If you get 2 no's, you are out. But let's say you do really bad that you have got 0, then we were just gonna terminate it.
So there will be a second chance.
Second chance. So you are always, interview is not to reject you, but it's to select you and give you enough chances. Unless
can you repeat the line? It is
interview is not to reject you, but to select you.
Okay.
So we give enough chances. But if I know that okay, this guy doesn't even know coding, then it doesn't even make sense to him little bit more time or more rounds, more chances.
Got it.
But otherwise, it's always we follow this.
So how do you filter the resume? Like I'm going before step 1, this round 1. So let us say someone applies for Microsoft. How do you select the resume? How do you select that candidate and call him for interview? What do you see? Because you just have a piece of paper and then you have to make a decision about whether to call him or not. What is the deciding factor there?
Yeah. So
how to write? Let us say I am a student. How should I write a resume so that I get selected for Microsoft interview?
Yeah. So there are 2 processes to that. Go to careers page. You have an opening. You apply there. You can also take a referral sometime. Those resumes. For that, there would be a job description. So some resumes will be filtered out based on some string matching algorithm. They call it ATS score.
Okay. So ATS is used.
ATS is used. Definitely.
Application tracking system.
Application tracking system, that's used.
Asha, that will filter 50%, let us say.
50%. Now this will go to the recruiter. And now we need to understand
that guy is not a technical person.
Definitely. Now I was coming to that point only. That guy is not a technical person. Then how do you...
How he can come? So let us say I have written some project on NLP and I given a very detailed explanation and I say that I published a paper, but this HR person doesn't even understand what NLP is, like how difficult it is or anything, right? How will he make a decision?
Definitely. There? So first thing, put your skills at the top. They match it with what they need. Second thing is you need to, especially in corporate, nobody cares how awesome your project is if there's not solving any business requirements or some. So you need to write your resume based on impact. That okay, you explain a problem in a layman's term that this was the problem my projects were trying to solve.
Oh, so now I understood that in order to be selected by HR people, your project or your entire resume should contain very least technical terms and it in such a way that you should understand it.
Yeah, now I'll come to that part because in another process. So normally I tell you put 2 lines, start with your business problem, what you're trying to solve. That should be least technical. The next 2 problems would be about technical stuff.
I didn't understand. What do you mean by problem? First problem?
Yes.
Achha, you're talking about
project, right? So 6, like I would spend 6 lines on that project. 2 lines would be what is the problem about.
In a very
layman term. So that's important.
Then, so you mean to say projects will help you in getting screened other than the academic scores?
Yeah, definitely. Projects would more. If you go to SD2, projects will be matter more. If you go to senior, even more. So the more level your projects are.
So now what if I had to say academics and projects? What is the weightage given to both of them?
Yeah. So if you are just starting, don't ignore your academics because see, if you are going to a university for hiring, most of the people will write the same projects, similar projects.
Because you went as an intern to Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
What was your CGPA then?
My CGPA was very high, I think 9.4.
You mean to say in the entry level roles, CGPA is the most important
thing?
Most
important thing, definitely. You should.
And if I'm applying for SD2 or SD3 or senior positions, then weightage for projects will increase compared to academics. Can I say that?
Yeah, CGPA will almost become 0. Nobody asks my CGPA now,
Oh, okay.
But definitely when I started.
So only for entry level, your CGPA is important, and after that, your CGPA is not at all doesn't matter at all. No one, your mark sheets are just piece of paper.
So there are certain companies like say fintech companies. Like I can give you an example about Tower Research. They want only ID.
Yeah, what is about Tower Research? Many people are talking about it. Is it the highest paying?
Definitely in India it's a highest paying.
I have seen someone boasting about it a lot.
Yeah.
So now HR is going to go through the entire resume and he is going to read the first 2-3 lines of the project. You are saying that it is better to have the first 2-3 lines of the project in simple words rather than directly writing about technologies.
Yeah, simple words and impact based, right? If you are building an app and nobody is using versus say you write that my app is on the Play Store with this rating or that many users, it will create an impact about it, right? Okay. So normally you can divide in 6 lines, 2 lines for the problem statement, 2 for the text stuff, and 2 for the impact. Okay,
totally 6 lines for the project. 2 lines for introduction, which is not technical, or impact, and then second 2 lines are for
about the tech stuff. That would be completely technical.
Tech stack.
And then finally, what was the impact? Like what was the problem? What did you do? And what was the impact? 6.
Problem. What did you do? What was the impact? Right.
So
can I see your resume someday?
Definitely.
Will you be able to do a video about how to build a resume?
Yeah, definitely.
Shall we build a resume live online by imagining a candidate?
Sure. That we can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, those things are very important because now recruiter is not gonna go for every resume over the web and understand what is NLP does. Right? They won't. For them. For corporates, we need to understand
how much time a recruiter will spend on a resume.
30 seconds, 40 seconds.
That's it.
That's all.
This is very important. So your resume should be understandable in 30 seconds.
Yes, 30 seconds.
You should use as simple terminology as possible.
Yeah. So normally I give.
Sorry. Before. When they start a resume, I have seen many students writing, I sincerely, honestly want to work for your company and help developing your company, and I will dedicate my entire life doing that. All this
that's not required.
It's not required, right?
It basically it might annoy people as well, right?
Yeah, directly you give the meat. Directly you do the academics. I think we should do a video on how to write a resume. Otherwise, this is taking too much of discussion on resume. Okay, we will make a video separately on how to write resume. Okay, that way we will take that topic. I hope this is sufficient. Yeah. Now, how do they filter it?
So they'll filter it based on the impact, whatever they are seeing. Then finally, it again goes to the hiring manager. Now this guy is technical.
Oh, hiring manager is
technical. Mostly technical.
Oh, then he will have a lot of work.
So that's why I think the number of resumes goes to him are very less compared to.
Acha, 8 years? then recruiting manager,
ATA, then recruiter, and then finally hiring manager.
finally hiring manager. Oh, okay, fine. So now you are a hiring manager, no?
No, I am not hiring manager. I am in hiring committee. So hiring manager is basically the senior position.
Acha. So they will select everyone and send them to you.
Yes, basically for whatever resume comes, around 40-50 resumes, we have one hiring event. There we participate, everyone comes and then basically interview. We do.
Got it.
So hiring manager level, you'll get around 40-50 resumes, that's all, for one event.
40-50 is fine. He has to select 4-5.
Yeah, normally 3,
And
4.
those 4-5 people will come to you for interview.
Yeah, basically we are like, there's a group divided. So normally 8, 9, 10 interviewers are there. So some will get some other will get some.
Okay. Will it be like team based? Like you will interview only people who are going to be in your team, or is it like wide open anywhere?
Wide open.
Okay.
So it's basically org-wise.
Org-wise. Okay.
So in org, the openings are there, then there will be events, and then you need to compulsory participate.
Got
and
it,
take
got it.
interviews.
So that is about first round. First round is about coding simple problem. Let us say he got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Then he goes to the second round. Now in the second round, will the level of complexity increase? Now, my question is there any classification of problems, like these kind of problems should be asked in first round, these kind of problems should be asked in second round, or will it be random? It so happens that first round you may get a difficult question, second round you may get an easy question, because you are not the one who is going to ask the second. That doesn't happen, right? You do one round, and the second round will go to some other person, right?
Yeah.
Will he know what is asked in?
So we normally, when we propagate, we don't tell them whether I said higher or no higher, because that would be biased. Because if I say that, okay, this person is no higher, then that person will also be biased. कि Bharat ने no higher बोला है तो no higher ही होगा, right?
So which means your feedback is not going to propagate to the second round interviewer.
No, general feedback will be there like this. Okay, these are the questions I asked. I have checked him in this area. Now you can check him another areas.
That is how it propagates.
So basically it would be blind, but directional will be there that okay, I have already checked him in coding, so don't spend time in coding. Or I could not check him completely in coding, so spend time again in coding. Because see, if we tell higher or
so you mean to say, sorry for cutting you, if I didn't do well in first round, I should not get demotivated. There is a chance that the second round interviewer doesn't know your result of first round. Therefore, if you can do well there, you can still get selected.
Yes.
Okay. So you should not get. You should attend the second interview also, even if you fail in the
first. Remember, interview is for selecting you. So if you are getting second interview, that means you are getting chance. So don't get demotivated. It's a lot of people mess up one round, so it's completely fine.
So first round, second round is over. Then what is third round?
So if you do good in both rounds, I'm assuming that.
So let us say I got a no yes. Will I be promoted to the third round?
Yes. If you get no and yes, definitely third round. So you
at least one yes.
You need at least one yes.
Okay.
If you get both no, then no.
Okay.
If you get one yes, then you'll definitely get third round. And that will be based on the feedback from how good or bad did you do in the previous round. Let's say you were not able to solve a coding, say problem solving, say data structure problem. Then I'm going to ask to next interviewer, probe him on the data structures part.
Okay.
Let's say I was trying to test your OOPS concepts and I was not able to understand or get the idea that, okay, you know well. So I'm going to ask next interviewer, test him on the low level design skills. If you are, say, SD2 or higher, then there's especially a round for high level design. Okay. Then I'm going to say, okay, I'm done with the low level design. Now you ask them for the high level design. Say someone is SD1, then we don't ask high level design. So it will always be about your coding plus some sort of CS fundamentals like OS के question पूछ लेते हैं.
Okay, apart from DSA also they will ask questions, is it?
Yeah,
in the second round?
Yeah. Normally I always ask questions related to operating systems.
Can I get 1-2 questions of yours?
So simple, say someone who has done a coding in C, I'll start with like, how do you know how malloc works and how will it save? Like you have to do a virtual memory call, right? So how does every time are you calling OS ka call and how do you optimize?
So you ask system calls as well?
Not like I don't want them to exactly know the calls, but at least have a brain to understand what might be going behind the scene, right? Okay. At least know something. You don't come and say, I don't know how.
At least the concept.
Yeah. Kind of it. You cannot come and say how malloc works, right?
Okay.
Or if I ask you that, okay, I am trying to allocate 50 bytes of memory, behind the scene kya chal raha hai? Is it a free list? how does you get that memory? At least to know something.
Are you a very tough interviewer?
No, I'm a very, you can say very simple interviewer, but if you're just mugging up the DSA, you won't be able to clear it.
Okay.
Because for me, more than DSA, how you think, how I have,
Has it ever happened that one of your top mate students came to you for an interview? Has it
no,
ever
no,
happened?
that would be a conflict of interest.
You will definitely reject them initially.
No, I won't reject them. I'll tell them ki I know this person, so someone else take his interview. So I would like Microsoft runs on trust, so they don't really do this sort of background check and all. But as someone who has been long in the system, I would just make sure that there's no conflict of interest.
So what happens in third round?
So let's say you are just going for the SD1 round. So normally coding and problem solving in some sort of CS fundamentals visa. If everything is green, then the hiring manager will ask you about your projects, how confident you are.
That is round 4, is it?
Yeah, round 4.
Is there any HR rounds involved in Microsoft?
No HR rounds. It's a hiring manager will definitely ask you. So hiring manager have this hybrid system where he might ask you some HR questions, or he might ask you the coding questions as well based on the previous round's feedback.
Okay.
So that round is very important in the sense that decides whether you'll get a higher SD1 or how much amount of money you'll get, whether you're doing strong hire or normal hire or weak hire. Based on that, they provide. So hiring manager has a final vote.
So one of my student, Rahul, he has started a company called interview.io. He says that, and he got very good funding. And he's supposed to come for a podcast. He will be coming maybe this month or next month. So he says that companies waste their bandwidth on interviews. And what the company is doing is, if you have a candidate, you send it to him. He will interview and do everything and then send the report cards to you so that you can hire them or reject them. Is this a great idea to build a great company? Are companies really, one thing is, will companies really rely on a third party for interviews, and will they save time by doing that? Because your time is getting wasted. How many interviews do you take per month?
Per month, we always have 2 events a month, and then one around 5, so at least 10 interviews.
10 interviews you take per month. So which means you are wasting 10 hours of time, right? Will you take help from that company and then get the interviews done? Do you think that is a good idea, or will they know your culture? So do you see any culture fit? Is there anything like that in your company where you see the culture fit also?
Yes, definitely. So see, there is for some extent we can definitely take their help. Interviewing is a very long process. It takes a lot of time. But for certain things, like say some core values for the company, we'll still want to. But so that there would be a mix of things like, okay, first you screen and give us a right candidates. Right
Initial screening, if they do it, that will actually help. So that there is scope for that company.
Yes, but so biggest problem right now we see is if I'm entering for 5 people, only 2 people are prepared. 3 people are just there. You thought, okay, I'll go and just do one round and then later understand or have an experience. You see, a lot of people give that advice that give interview even if you're not prepared. So we see that sort of candidates every day.
Because some people will have very good academic scores, but they have poor DSA knowledge. So I think that will waste your time.
Yes, definitely waste time, as well as sometimes people, even though they have a good knowledge, but it's just that they were not prepared. They just thought that, okay, call aaya hai, Microsoft is calling, what's harm, right? So let's go and just get an interview done. So I think definitely a mix of approach will definitely help.
So do Microsoft have a list of colleges from which they will call the students from, or is it like they are open with, which means will they call a 3-tier college guy also for an interview if he applies?
Yeah, so we don't do bias. So I think
because some companies have a list.
Yeah, so for Microsoft it is not the case. There is no bias.
Anyone can apply and get
anyone can apply.
There is a vacancy.
There is a vacancy, and as long as their resume fits in. That's
mainly marks they see, right?
Freshers, marks, projects, both things. ATS score, how our ATS is able to filter your resume.
So do you know how to get good score on ATS?
Yeah, there are a lot of tools over the web, like jobscan.co or something you can use to get it.
So we will actually do a video on a digital board. We'll create a resume which has very good score on ATS.
Yeah, then you can also use ChatGPT
and also
do that. But normally there is no constraint. We should not be filtering based on the college. That would be bad thing. So.
No, that's nice. I mean, That's nice actually, because many companies don't have that. Many companies have a list of colleges like NITs, triple ITs, IITs, and then few universities, LPU, some few universities. That's it, and they will not call others are directly rejected if they don't fall in that range. I don't want to take those names, but then there are companies.
Yeah, sometimes we also don't try to look at the resume and first go because that also creates bias, right? Say someone
Okay.
who is from some good IIT but not prepared, and but I'm thinking, okay, this guy is smart because he's in IIT also is wrong, right? So
Okay.
sometimes we like normally I
Have,
don't.
have you seen a case where, according to you, who are doing well in interviews, like IITians or non-IITians?
Whoever is prepared more, interviewing is a completely different skill than normal work.
Okay.
So whoever is prepared more and has put a good amount of time.
Do you think that masters is really required to get into FANG companies?
Not really, but let's say if you are from a very tier 3 college and you don't have a good projects as well, and your resume is not getting selected, then if you do get into the IIT, some IIT, a lot of pool of companies coming, so it becomes easy for you. So what I say is either get a good academics or at least have a good projects. But you cannot say that, okay, I'm not going to have a good projects, I'm not going to have a good resume, but still dream about these companies. So like for us, like for me, when I was in college, I didn't have that good projects as well, right? But because it's IIT tag, I know Microsoft will come, so I'll get the chance. So I was fortunate enough in that sense. So if you do masters and clear gate, get into the good IIT, you're basically companies will come, so they won't really say no to you. So it becomes easier at least.
Okay. It is if you have masters, it is good, but it is not compulsory to have. That is what even not every Google guy or Microsoft guy is having a master's. So many people think that in order to go to FANG companies, they have to go to IITs through GATE and then do that. But that is a misconception.
Definitely.
Even just with a BTech degree and a good DSA knowledge, right? They can do that, right?
Yes, definitely.
So apart from technical skills, what other key characters that you see, characteristics that you see in a candidate to give good marks for him?
Yeah, so company always has some technical, but other aspect is basically we also rate people based on the communication skills and confidence as well, and then cultural fit as well. So
there is rating for communication and there is rating for confidence.
We call it the same thing, but basically communication plus confidence comes in one section.
One section.
Yeah. So,
but is it not biasing? You are looking at communication.
No, communication doesn't mean basically communication skills in English or Hindi. We are also fine with Hindi, but like, see, there are some people explaining me your projects, right? So there are same projects, two people explain in completely different ways, right? And then one person you want to listen to, and the second person are just
okay. The way
you can basically paint a picture, right? Yeah. In a way, because that's very important. Let's say you are working with me in company, you're given certain projects. You explain me what is your thought process, how you're approaching this problem, solving this problem, talking with multiple parties to understand what are the problems there as well, right? So it's a very important thing. It's not about the language barrier, but are you able to smart enough to sort of resolve the ambiguity and confident enough to take steps. So we want to see those people who are very enthusiastic and have a clarity in mind, or not be afraid. It won't decide, but it will definitely give you some sort of good points. So
got
some good points you'll definitely get. So if we find such candidates, we write it down that okay, this person seems in this section really good. So maybe
you have achieved a lot in your life. You are so young. How old are you?
30.
Yeah, just 30 years. And you are at a very good position. You have become a principal engineer in just 8.5 years, and no one has ever done that. Maybe one or two people might have done that, but then as far as I know, no one has done that. You can talk about your family members or any personality who inspired you to achieve this.
Yeah, so मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि everyone needs a mentor.
You are like Virat Kohli of Microsoft.
Virat Kohli might be inspired with Anushka Sharma.
Oh, you have Anushka Sharma in your life?
Yeah, definitely have Anushka Sharma in my life. Because of her only I started doing some LinkedIn or something.
So she is the one who keeps you without taking these random decisions. Like you take decisions.
Sometimes he encourages me to do more random decisions. So yeah, but I would say I've been very fortunate enough to get the right opportunities at the right time. That was very important. And second thing,
no, everyone gets opportunities. See how many people join Microsoft at SD1 and still there at SD3 even after so many years. You don't have to be modest here. I know you're trying to be modest, but who influenced you?
So second thing is I have been very like I have always tried to find the mentors. So
Huh.
if you are like if you're a student, you also always need to have a mentor. Like
So you had a mentor from your childhood, I mean, your college days.
college itself. So college में हमारे एक भैया थे. He went and he got placed in
That
like
is what I'm saying, guys. You need to find mentors, and mentors, good mentors, great mentors are very difficult to find. See, and one more thing, even if someone is, for example, I can be a good mentor, but then I don't have time to mentor one on one, but he is dedicating his time to give one on one mentorship, go for it. Don't think that I'm promoting it is totally worth, go for it. Okay. And having him in your life will definitely help you throughout your life. He's like a tower of light. You can think of it like that. Okay, so who are your mentors?
So कॉलेज में भैया थे तो उन्होंने ही बताया कि माइक्रोसॉफ्ट आने वाली है सो यू शुड बी प्रिपेयरिंग दिस साइट सो माई टाइम पे Geeks for Geeks है all just started so he told me that okay go mug it up Geeks for Geeks so I was like okay next 3-4 months I'm just gonna mug it up so Geeks for Geeks we started with that and second thing was my friend Ankit Sonka he is right now in Amazon Seattle pretty much earning very good so we were friends but we were also each other's mentor at that time.
So you both were each other's mentors.
Yeah, because you have a very similar background. He was also from Hindi medium. I was Hindi medium.
Oh, you are from Hindi medium.
Yes.
Till what standard?
12th.
Till 12th you had.
Yes.
But your English is so damn good.
Not really good. I'm still not very confident.
You are very. I think you are a kind of a genius, I guess.
No, sir.
Yeah, you got 9.4 CGPA in IIT.
A little bit fortunate or hardworking. I am very hardworking. So me and Ankit used to be very hardworking. I mean, when we started our
What do you mean by hard work? Like
हार्ड वर्क से वी लाइक करके छोड़ेंगे मतलब जब हमने स्टार्ट किया था तो वी वर नॉट इवन श्योर कि कंप्यूटर साइंस लेना है और किसी तरीके से मिल गया तो वी सेट अ गोल दैट वी नीड टू क्लियर इन्फोसिस यूज्ड टू गिव 50,000 मंथ उनका एक आईआईटी पैकेज होता था तो हमारा गोल था कि यही करना है फिर अब हमारे साथ एक गुड थिंग वाज विद अस वाज वी आर नॉट हेसिटेंट आई मीन वी विल गो टू भैया एंड से भैया प्लीज आप महान हो यू आर ग्रेट help us something a little bit of the buttering somehow we used to make mentors like that so wahan se mentorship start hui bhaiya used to tell read this read that and we both Ankit and I got into Microsoft at the same time ye journey start hui at that time we used to like motivate each other like because there has been a very hard times like ek baar to college mein we wrote answers in Hindi and then professor ने हमको बुलाया और काट दिया हमारा बोला ये कॉलेज में आ गया बंद करो तो वहां से स्टार्ट हुआ देन व्हेन आई जॉइंड माइक्रोसॉफ्ट आई अगेन फाउंड अ राइट मेंटर कल्पेश बुराड़ करके उनका नाम था he was amazing person
Kalpesh that IIT first guy IIT and
no
whose rank was first
no this is a different Kalpesh
okay
so he used to be I was like okay sir आप मेरे बड़े भाई हो I have always made this sort of relations with everyone कि आप मेरे बड़े भाई please help me so he started guiding me and all then there's one Geeks for Geeks का one person who used to be writing blogs for Geeks for Geeks we became friends and he became a kind of my mentor then I was working with US person I basically requested him to be my mentor so 3 years then with the help of him I got the US offer so I was earlier working with him and he was kind of my mentor
so you had a mentor throughout your life
yes definitely all phases and different mentors not just one mentor would be like say telling me what to do another mentor would be really related to my work and then other life aspect and also always have found people and connection and normally I'll go and tell them how great they are and basically then take their help and move forward so yeah that has been like making connections and asking people to help I mean I always like hota hai na when you go to corporate you're like no if I ask for help what will this guy think or what will that guy think I never had this sort of thing I'll even when I was senior I used to go to people and ask for help अरे sir आप महान हो so this way basically I was able to get the knowledge I mean talking with different people asking them like there was one very genius person in Redmond when I was working there he had very less time we were heard that he is very rude but somehow I sent him a mail asking Arey I've heard a lot about you can you give me 5 minutes of time and later he helped me and he saw that okay I am a very hard working and I was always when I met him I had already prepared and spent around 2-3 hours just for the questions and all. So he somehow got the impression that this guy is, then he helped me a lot there as well. So overall, I'll say different people met at the different time, But just because I was prepared enough.
So it is important to have a mentor in your life at all phases of life.
Yes, definitely. But having a mentor won't really solve. Ultimately, you need to do the work as well.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
you
have to work.
yeah. So if you go to say Bharat, become my mentor, and I'm having a month and you don't really know what to ask, it's no use, right? So more about you also need to know what you want to ask. Then only I'll be able to, any mentor will be able to.
So Bharat, you have achieved a lot in your life. You are a very good programmer, very good mentor, because you have 4.9 on your top mate. I will just show them, I'll open the top mate and I'll just show them what your rating is. Getting 4.9 means you are a terrific mentor. So what I feel is, see, I'm not going to get anything out of it. But people like you should not just be influencers. You should be educator. There is a difference between influencer and educator. Influencer can only say what to do, but educator will say how to do. It is deep mentorship. I call it as deep mentorship. I have seen, for example, I'm not against any YouTuber or any educator in general, but if you look at any Java course available on the internet, all of them teach very basic stuff. If you go through the course, I'm very sure you will not get into companies like Microsoft or Google or FANG companies. You will think that, okay, this is, see, I will tell you what, when people don't know what is the best, they will think that whatever they see is the best. I want you to show what is the best Java, best C++, best DSA course for free for students, because that is in your blood to guide and help students. What is your take on that? I want you to become an YouTuber.
Yeah, definitely. Mera palace dream, I always wanted to be a teacher. Somehow certain events got done. And
you even went to become a teacher in IIT JEE Institute, right?
Yes, I basically, when I got a Microsoft offer, but I was always wanted to become a teacher and I was very good at maths.
See, one more thing. I never suggest anyone to become educators full time. The reason is the learning curve will not be there. As an educator, you will not learn anything. You will only be teaching. Whatever knowledge you have, that is what you are going to teach. But then I really encourage you to keep your job as it is. Keep learning from the job. And whatever you are learning from the job, you teach it on YouTube. I'm very sure this will benefit millions and millions of students. Trust me. If your courses come online, because I discussed with you about the courses also, if your courses come online, students doesn't have to go anywhere. Just one course will complete everything. See, the problem with the courses now is everyone is teaching basics. And when it comes to, for example, if you take Java, when you come to multi-threading, solid problem principles, no one actually teaches them at a depth required for interviews. You really request you for all the student community to come on to the YouTube, start a channel and start teaching. And I would be really happy to watch you.
Koshish rahegi, sir. Definitely, I'll try my best and definitely will put some time in this. I mean, this was always my dream. So definitely you have also given me inspiration. I've seen a lot of your videos in past as well. So yeah, I'll try my best and at least start with one.
Sure. So I will show you his TopMate account and I will tell you how to register for the account. And my suggestion would be do it today. He is the best mentor out there. I have interacted with him just for a few hours and he is really addictive. He is very inspirational. When you meet someone who is very inspirational, who is an achiever, you yourself will get that energy in you and you want to excel. So this is such a kind of person. Trust me, having Bharat Ahuja's number in your mobile phone will be an asset for you for a lifetime. So do register for his TopMate account. I will show you what his TopMate account is. Hi. So as we just discussed in the podcast that you should always have a mentor in your life. Bharat Ahuja is a very good mentor, great mentor. He is an IITian, 9-pointer, principal software engineer at Microsoft, and he has seen it all. So if you are planning to become a software engineer in FANG companies, it is always better to have someone who could guide you at every step of your life. For example, tomorrow there is an interview. Now you want to talk to someone, then he is the guy. So my suggestion is go to the website topmate.io/Bharat Ahuja. You can find Bharat Ahuja TopMate. He is also on LinkedIn. I'm giving you these links in the description. Now go there and book one-on-one call and then talk about him, about your scenario. Take a 1-hour call. Just tell him about your position, your academic background, family background, and what you are trying to do now. Then he will guide you about how to get into FANG companies, either through gate or without gate also. He will tell you how to do that. So get him as a mentor. I honestly request you to do this, because your life will change. This is a life changing opportunity. Once you take one-on-one mentorship, he is also going to give you his phone number, and don't disturb him too much with phone calls. Just drop a message on WhatsApp anytime you want in your life, right? It is just for lifetime. Anytime you want, you just WhatsApp him. He will tell you the solution for your problem. Thank you.